Welcome everybody to our show. This is Custom Fab Garage on our channel Octane TV on YouTube. Make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can get all the new content that comes out weekly and even every day.
We're going to be doing a review on this Boss Audio Systems Elite. This is a 340 watt, from what it says, floating touch screen with Bluetooth. It looks like it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We're going to go through some of the features once we install this, kind of let you know what we think. We'll go over like specs, features, and then at the very end we'll tell you what we actually think on the quality and how this thing operates. Won't really be able to tell you on longevity, but at least we'll be able to show you kind of how this operates, how it works, some of the features, and some of the specifications on it for you. This is the floating portion of here, which is not very big. I'm not sure exactly on the specs, but that's how it mounts to the back. It has a pivot head ball on it. So basically you can manually shift this around how you want it to be, which is pretty cool. I do like that. The other cool thing about it is this thing actually moves up and down. You can hear the gears grinding. So it's kind of cool how that does that. And then you can pivot this ball, which I do like this a lot better. Hopefully that will hold up. But it is like the Kenwood. It has the large rotary knob on the bottom here, which is pretty awesome. If you look at the back of the actual radio itself, you can see over here you have your main power plug, just like any other one with your fuse. But if you look over here, it does have a video in, has sub 1, sub 2, and then it also has a front left, front rear, and then your rear, so basically your fronts. And it looks like it has input and output. So basically you have your audio video output, or I apologize, audio video input, and then you have front, rear, and then sub for your audio outs. So basically audio video in, audio outs, front, rear, and sub, which is pretty cool. And it also has a rear camera input and a front camera input, which is pretty nice. And I believe this, yeah, microphone input for the Bluetooth mic. And then it does have dual USB. So these are some pretty awesome features, having front, rear, and sub, audio video in, your mic input, which is on most standard, but 2 camera inputs and 2 USB outputs and inputs. So basically the USB you can use for charging, plugging in your phone, everything like that. That's actually a lot of features packed into a pretty entry level, in my opinion, cheaper head unit. So we'll see how this looks when we get it fired up, but this is how it mounts into here. If you look, this part right here will basically slide into this ribbon cable like that, and we'll just slide in there. So hopefully if this plugs into here, goes to the ribbon cable and everything swivels correctly, and with all the features this has, this could potentially be a pretty awesome head unit. The only downside I've seen so far is the screen is small. Like normally they're 10 inches. This bad boy is like, I would say 7 to 8 at the most. I mean, it's not a very large head unit at all. So usually these bad boys are like 10 to 11 inches. They're big, they're massive. This one's pretty small, but it'll fit in better vehicles with it being small, so that might actually help it. We'll see. All right, so here's the final product after being installed. I must tell you that I am not a Boss person. I'm not a dual or Boss connoisseur or whatever you want to call me. I am not a big fan of that stuff. I am more of a Sony, Kenwood, that type of guy. But I must say, this is definitely a really decent head unit for the money. The swivel point, you can swivel it back here, which is pretty cool. I like that it's manual. It's not locked in with screws or anything like that. And there's plenty of adjustment, which is really cool. So you could aim it at the driver, I like the large rotary knob like the Kenwoods, and then you have your home buttons and everything down here at the bottom. It's actually a really nice head unit. I can't say a bad word about it so far, but we also don't know the sound quality. We don't know the longevity. That's the two biggest problems with these cheaper head units, is how long they'll last and the sound quality. So that's something that I haven't quite determined yet, but as far as it goes, looking in here, it looks great in here. Now this is the 7-inch. They do make a 9-inch, and I do believe a bigger one, but I think the 9-inch would personally look better, but the 7-inch looks good, especially for the price. He probably got this for a really good deal, because I think they have these on sale for really cheap right now. But other than that, it looks great. All right, so this is about as honest as I can get on this review. The screen quality of this is very good. You can see it from all different angles. It's very similar to the Sony resolution. I really like the screen because it's not pixelated, nothing's pixelated. It's not like washed out. You can see it from almost every angle really well. The screen tilts, which is the best part of this, because none of the other ones we do actually do that, which we've done the Kenwood, Pioneer, Sony, all of them. And it actually tilts up and down, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the, yeah, so you have full 360 rotation of how you want to be able to do this, which that's the #1 selling point for me on this radio. And you know, I'm not a Boss person, I will tell you that right now. Like, Boss is not something I ever promote or put in people's vehicles, but this customer brought it into me. As you can see, the model number right there, it is the 7-inch. So he did bring this into me. That's why I'm doing this review. It's why I'm giving my honest opinion of what I think, because trust me, I'd love to bash the crap out of this, because I hate Boss with a passion. That's why I don't sell it. That's why I don't put it in my customers' vehicles. But I do like the rotary knob. It is rubber, just like the Kenwood. It's very almost, this unit is almost like a mini version of the Kenwood, which the Kenwood unit is $1,499. This unit is in between $200 and $300. So there's a big price difference between these Boss radios and the Kenwood. And I gotta say, the quality of the build all the way around, the screen resolution, the buttons exactly like the Kenwoods, the screen quality, everything looks very, very similar. Very good quality. Like, there's nothing bad I can actually pick out on this radio. I would say the Kenwood is a little crisper when it comes to like the text, the orientation. Like when you go to this home screen right here, this looks a little bit dated compared to the Kenwood and other ones. They're full 3D, you know, I mean, you can do anything with those radios. So this is a little dated right here, but it does look clean. I mean, it doesn't look in any way, shape, or form bad. I just think it looks a little dated. You know, we had this on Eclipses 10 years ago that looked similar to this. But it does, when you get over into this screen, everything looks nice. It's very similar to Pioneer, stuff like that. But I do like the Bluetooth. We did test out the Bluetooth. Everything on it worked great. The streaming, I have not tried out the USBs. This does have a dual USB. I have not tried that out yet. So that's something that I will probably do in a separated video. I have tried the Bluetooth, works great. The Bluetooth streaming works great. So everything that I've done so far on this radio, I have no complaints. Now, the only thing I don't like is the 7-inch portion. I would go for more like an 8 or a 9-inch. Just because it would look larger. It makes it look like a floating screen correctly. Like this is hanging out a little bit, but which is, I mean, it's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a floating screen, but I will say I've installed a lot of Kenwoods, more than probably most normal shops. I've installed a lot of the higher end Kenwood Exelon units, and they are my favorite out of all the floating screens. But this, and I hate to eat my words, is actually showing me that something can actually be nice for a very inexpensive price. Basically value. The value of this to me, you know, I don't know the sound quality comparable yet compared to the Kenwood, and I don't know the longevity, but I do like the way this is set up. It does have one camera input, a separated camera front input. So it has front, rear, and subwoofer. It also has 2 USBs, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. So for the features, I think this radio is definitely worth the money, in my opinion. Now, you can do backup camera, everything. So when we go on here, and I put it into gear, there is your backup camera. We installed a backup camera in this as well. So it does have front camera input, back camera input, dual USB, front rear sub, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth. I mean, it comes packed with features, and everything seems to work great. So I have no complaints so far. I would say, you know, I'm going to put a link down in the description below to where you can actually buy one of these. They have a 7-inch and a 9-inch version. Definitely click on the link down in the description underneath the title, because if you click on that, you'll directly be able to buy it from Amazon, have it shipped to your house the next day. That is what I would recommend. I highly recommend buying off of Amazon and clicking on the link down below, because that is the fastest, easiest way. With the warranty, you won't have any issues. I promise you that. I spend probably $1,000 to $1,500 a month on Amazon, so best way you can buy anything anymore. Something else we've noticed is it does have where you can change the panel lighting. Why does it not let me click on it? Oh, LED animation. Oh, look, you can change all the lighting on it. That is really cool. Red looks good. That's nice. And if you look at the audio settings, it's even got a parametric EQ. That is insane. This little thing's packed with a whole lot of features. I'm gonna buy one of these and I'm gonna put it in one of our demo. We're building some demo consoles. We'll put it in there and we'll test it, and we'll put it on some speakers and see what it actually does. It says it makes a lot of power, but we'll put it to the test and see what this bad boy does. So Beavis, what does it not come with? What's its one flaw?
No remote. I can't sit in the back seat and turn it up or down.
Yeah, so no remote, guys. It does not come with the remote. So remember that, as Beavis says, no remote. Okay, so this is how you remove the face. There's 2 little buttons on the back. If he can figure out how to do this. Here, I'll hold it. You just push the 2 buttons down. Push them down. Are you pushing them?
I'm pushing them in.
Why is it not coming off? There it goes. Okay, so if you push these 2 buttons down right here, this whole piece will come out with the ribbon cable right there. Boom, and that's how it comes off. It also slides up and down. If you see that in the back, it actually moves up and down, and then you can tilt, you can swivel it too. So, and then when you're ready, you just slide it into place, and then it'll click in just like that, and it clicks right in just like that. It's really actually pretty nice. Here's the head unit installed. It is the Boss BE7ACP-FT. Looks really clean in here. I love that it's adjustable. You can manually adjust it up, down. So basically you have 360-degree rotation that you can basically, any way you want to move it, you can move it by hand. You know, you don't have to use the screws or anything like that. It's really nice. I gotta say, for an entry-level cheaper head unit, definitely cannot go wrong with this. And the screen quality, even during the day, is really good. You're not getting any white hazing, you're not getting any glare. It definitely is a great head unit from what I can see so far.